Hello, friends. It's another week that we have to come to you again, and thank you for all the support that you've been supporting us. Today, we're going to talk about our organization, Changing Minds. And you would ask me, what is Changing Minds? Changing Minds is an international non-governmental organization which was set up about 3 years ago in Manchester. We have our headquarters in Manchester, and the aims and the objectives of Changing Minds are to challenge, combat, and eradicate the negative mindsets, attitudes, and values which confront our beautiful nation Ghana and undermine our national development and progress. And so the question is, what are these negative mindsets that we are alluding to? Now, these mindsets seem to be quite self-evident and clear-cut issues that confront our nation. One, tribalism. And tribalism really simply is the mindset which says that one tribe is better than another. The other one is nepotism. And nepotism basically is favoritism. A person applying for a job having the right qualifications but being rejected because they don't know anyone. Another negative mindset is sycophancy. And sycophancy basically is the mindset which says that, well, I'm going to bootlick somebody. It doesn't matter what the person says or does, they are okay. And that manifests itself in our traditional governance structure and in our political system, where the occupant of a stool or the occupant of a political position doesn't seem to do any wrong because people will be elevating them. Corruption seems to be a national disease where individuals have to give something for a certain performance of an official duty. Clearly, this is a very serious problem that we have. And it seems to be systemic and endemic in our culture. So these negative mindsets, and quite a number of them, I'll mention also bureaucratic inertia. Now, bureaucratic inertia is the inefficiency of our public organizations in delivering. And so, Changing Minds has been set up to collaborate with civil society organizations, with national non-governmental organizations, and with citizens of Ghana. We believe that the problems that we have identified can only be resolved if Ghanaians hold hands together. We are aware that Ghana is endowed with both material and human resources. Ghana is blessed with mineral resources, with gold, with oil, with bauxite. And cumulatively, governments have done their bits to bring infrastructural development to Ghana. So obviously there has been good progress, but there's still more to go. And Changing Minds is primarily, we are not political, we are not partisan, we are not tribal, and we are not religious. We would work with all political parties and with government, but we do not intend for the government to influence our non-partisan role. We are not religious because we do not identify with religious organizations. We work with all Ghanaians across the religious spectrum. We are not partisan, and of course, we are non-tribal. So we want to affirm the Ghanaian identity. And that affirmation of the Ghanaian identity, of course, means that the national interest is paramount. And I believe that the time has come for Ghanaians to affirm that we are Ghanaian first. Because, of course, we live in a particular geographical area called Ghana. And we happen to inhabit this territorial boundary with many different tribes. But we should accept our tribal identity, but it has to be subsumed in our Ghanaianness. One of the other problems that I believe we need to articulate, and Changing Minds, of course, addresses, is the problem of self-interest. Ghana as a nation has always practiced the extended family culture, which in my view is a very, very positive attribute of Ghana, where uncles, aunties, brothers and sisters have responsibility for each other, because I believe that our extended family system is a classic illustration of a welfare society. In the Western world, of course, because of urbanization, industrialization, and all these kind of developments, most Western countries have a system of welfare where every individual's needs is taken care of. And I believe that the value of our extended family system needs to be re-established so that we will be one another's keeper. So the question is, how do we influence the mindsets and the values of our brothers and sisters? For a start, I believe that we need to inculcate values of patriotism, values of altruism, values of philanthropy, values of voluntarism. And we want to do this through the medium of education, particularly targeting our young people, the young people who are in junior secondary schools, the young people in senior secondary schools, technical and vocational colleges, universities. These are the future of Ghana, and we must ensure that these extraordinary values would be sustained and maintained by the future generation, so that they would recognize that it is the sum total of the interests of Ghanaians which they are committed to, so that the spirit of selfishness will be completely dealt with. And so the question is, how are we going to address some of these issues? I have said that, for instance, we're going to set up Changing Minds clubs in all the secondary schools. We're going to have seminars, forums, and so on, where we believe that our citizens should be receiving education. And we are talking about Ghana used to have a practice of mass education, where our mothers, our fathers, our grandparents would be taught. And I believe that the National Council of Civic Education, we can work with all public and other organizations to ensure that Ghanaians have knowledge about their rights, about their responsibilities. What can I expect from my government? But also, what can I do for my government? There's a famous statement by an American head of state who was sadly killed, John F. Kennedy, he made a very powerful statement. He says, don't ask what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. We are convinced in changing minds that we have the capacity, the God-given ability to be able to transform our nation, Ghana. And if we all hold hands together, if we work together, then we can create a movement that will make Ghana an attractive place. For a start, Ghana is located at the center of the world, and we have been blessed. And so we are changing minds. We believe that as Ghanaians, we can make Ghana great. Ghana can be the greatest nation in Africa. And so we are appealing to you, brothers and sisters, those of us who are in the diaspora, those of us who are in America, in Canada, in Holland, in the United Kingdom, in Italy, in Spain, in all these countries. Our appeal to you is that let us be mindful of this beautiful nation, Ghana, where we all come from, where a vast amount of our relatives still live, and let's make a positive contribution. I am especially appealing to those of us who are in the diaspora that look, let us be positive about Ghana. Let us just not be too negative and say that our nation, Ghana, can rot. I am confident, and I believe that most of us who have been in England, a lot of us who are past 50 or even 40, we had a basic upbringing in Ghana. And being exposed to an environment where there's development, we don't have to deprecate our nation. Our nation, Ghana, can be as strong, as progressive, as materially affluent as the nations that we see in the West. And so, brothers and sisters, we are appealing to you to join forces with us, because the transformation of Ghana cannot only be done by a particular government or a particular party. We all, as Ghanaians, we need to hold hands together and say, thank you, God, for Mother Ghana, and so that we can build a beautiful nation. And we are confident that by your commitment, by your dedication, you will join forces with us, and together we will make Ghana great again. God bless you.